Welcome back to your Geek News headquarters. I'm your host Chris with another episode of Trailer Triumph or Trailer Tragedy. Remember, we want your opinions. The links to follow Geek News Now are in the description below. When we ask what you liked or didn't like about a trailer, let us know in the comments. Your comment might be featured in a future episode. For now, let's take a look at the teaser trailer for The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. Wait, Batman is the guy from those Twilight movies? Well, let's take a look at the trailer anyways.
From your secret friend.
Underneath the bridge,
Who?
top has sprung a leak, and the animals I've trapped
Haven't a clue.
all become my pet.
Let's play a game. Just me and you. Any of this mean anything to you?
You're becoming quite a celebrity. Why is he writing to you?
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
This guy's crazy!
You're part of this too. How am I part of it? You'll see.
In case you couldn't tell, I was joking before about Robert Pattinson. I will admit, when I first heard they had cast him as the Batman, I was a bit concerned. But then, while interning at the International Film Festival in Cannes, France in 2019, I saw one of the premieres of The Lighthouse. It's a film that is essentially just Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, and I have to give both men credit for masterful performances, but Pattinson blew me away. I looked into what other movies he had been making or is making, and I was similarly impressed. As far as I can tell, Pattinson wanted to move away from the stigma of Twilight and show he has chops as a serious actor, and he has portrayed some brilliant characters since. The Batman is his way to reintroduce himself to the blockbuster movie scene as a major league actor. Besides Pattinson, this trailer gives us a glimpse into the story and setting. We see other major characters in Gotham's crime scene, such as Catwoman and the Penguin, if just for quick glances. But glimpses of those characters just makes even more mysterious the main villain of this movie, and that is the masked man taunting Batman, and perhaps Bruce Wayne, with different messages left at crime scenes and hostage scenarios. We're going to talk a bit more about that later, but that gets into spoiler territory. For now, I want to talk about the final beatdown the Batman gives a random thug. First of all, I enjoyed it immensely. You needed to show some sort of shot with Pattinson taking somebody down, or the doubters would just be crying all the louder. This scene shuts that down. Now, I have seen some memes floating about on the fact that he says,
I'm vengeance.
and people are upset because he is supposed to be about justice, and that this movie is just trying to make him dark and gritty. And I want to set one thing straight. No story about Batman begins any differently than any other. It starts with him seeing his parents murdered right in front of him when he is anywhere between 8 to 12 years old. This is not a story that needs to be made dark and gritty. It already is by nature. If you want something less so, maybe Batman isn't the hero for you. Furthermore, this movie takes place at the end of his first year / beginning of his second year being Batman. Vengeance might still be something he is doing, and it's only through character growth that he understands he can't just be about revenge, he has to be better than that. That could be a really interesting character arc. In the Batman trailer, he is excessively beating the piss out of one thug in order to psychologically intimidate his opponents. He isn't mentoring these gangbangers. He is getting ready to fight them all if he has to. Best to scare some off, and I think you scared at least one of them there, Bats. That dude just crapped his pants. If you are worried about potential spoilers for this movie, or for spoilers for the 2019 animated Batman film, Batman Hush, now is the time to skip to the timecode provided. In the 2019 animated film, Batman Hush, Batman faces off against a masked mastermind who apparently knows who he is and all of his secrets. He looks very similar to the masked villain we see in the Batman 2021 trailer, and his identity is that he is the Riddler. Without going into too many details, Batman works with Catwoman to flush him out and defeat him. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's a really awesome Batman film. Batman has some of the best lines I've ever seen, and sometimes he doesn't even say anything, he just looks at someone and it just like, he kills it. But as great as that movie is, and as similar as the villains may look, there are a couple holes in this theory. For one thing, the Riddler only becomes Hush after his many years of fighting Batman as the Riddler. The Batman 2021 film is said to be taking place after a year or so of Batman officially being active. To me, this doesn't seem like enough time for someone like the Riddler to evolve into a character such as Hush. Some theories have suggested this is a different version of Hush, or a different version of the Riddler, or that the entire thing is a misdirect. Okay, that's it for my thoughts. Let's see what you guys thought of the trailer. Cameron said, "I love that it seems like an actual mystery type of film. Bruce Wayne is known for being one hell of a detective, and I think we're going to see a lot of that here. It looks like it's going to be loosely based on the Long Halloween story arc from the comics, and if it is, it's going to be equal parts brutal, tense, and exciting." Now that's a man who knows his lore. Let's see, Johnny said, "The whole thing looks freaking boss. I had my doubts about Pattinson, but I'm sold on definitely seeing this one. He may be a good Batman Bruce Wayne after all. That said, I've been fooled by trailers before." Gazes with dread at trailers for The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. You lied to me! And in future episodes of this show, we will be getting to those movies, but don't have time to talk about them now. Jimmy said, "Loved how brutal that beating was to the thug in the trailer. Didn't like the new Batmobile though." And not everyone's sold on that, but again, this is like Model 1. So maybe he upgrades from here, right? And Adam said, "I liked how he said, 'I am vengeance.'" Hey, Adam, so did I. Let's recap. The trailer shows us Robert Pattinson has evolved past Twilight into the Night. It hints at fan-favorite villains and antiheroes and leaves us wondering how they will interact with Batman. It shows fast shots of Batman dealing with all kinds of problems, like being shot at and even the police turning against him. It hints at a character that knows Batman is Bruce Wayne and is psychologically torturing him with that knowledge. And finally,
I'm vengeance.
I think we have ourselves a trailer triumph. If you agree or disagree, tell us why below. The next trailer we will be looking at is the Snyder Cut Justice League trailer. And oh boy, isn't that one an interesting case. Tell me your thoughts on it, and you could be featured in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know the instant a new episode comes out. See you next time.